Installing a hardwood floor is a great way to enhance a room and increases the value of your home. This overview will give you a good idea of what's involved.
These are the materials you'll need to get started. The first thing you should do is acclimate your hardwood to the room's temperature and humidity. This usually takes about 72 hours. Be sure to read the manufacturer's instructions for details. Next, ensure the subfloor surface is smooth, flat, dry, clean, and solid. Remove any carpet staples or adhesive residue. Check for moisture and smooth out hollows with self-leveling underlayment. If you're replacing a vinyl floor installed prior to 1990, consult a professional beforehand. Once the planks are acclimated, install them perpendicular to the floor joints. Remove the baseboards around the room with a pry bar. Be careful not to damage the boards if you plan to reinstall them. You might also want to roll building paper over the subfloor. It acts as a slight barrier against moisture and makes it easier to slide flooring into place. If you do, be sure to overlap the lengths of building paper about 3 inches at the seams and staple every 8 to 10 inches. If the planks do not fit exactly across the room, you will need to cut the first and last rows to equal widths. If they fit perfectly, you're in luck. Use the marks you made on the building paper to snap a straight chalk line. This is where the tongue edge of the first row of hardwood will be laid. It's important to get the first row straight as it affects the entire installation. Cut the first row of hardwood using a table saw with a sharp rip blade and a rafter angle to protect your hands. Be sure not to cut the tongues off the lengths of the plank. Align the first strip along the chalk line with the tongue edge facing into the room and drill holes every 12 inches through the hardwood and into the floor. Then drive 2-inch ring shank flooring nails through the holes. Place shims between the first row of hardwood and the wall. Hardwood tends to expand due to moisture, so allow for expansion gaps around the perimeter of the room equal to the thickness of your plank. If you're using 3/4 inch plank, leave a 3/4 inch gap. These shims must be removed after installation is complete and baseboards will cover the gap. Next, drive flooring nails through the tongues of the hardwood and use a nail punch to set the heads flush with the surface. Repeat the procedure of laying and nailing the hardwood across the floor. Consider renting an air-powered or manual flooring nailer at the Home Depot Tool Rental Center. Always wear safety glasses with white shields when using power tools. Position the nail head on the tongue edge of the board and strike the plunger head with a mallet. It's a great tool that will help save time and energy when installing hardwood, especially in a large room. Cross-cut the last piece in each row to fit. Turn the board around and mark the length of the cut you'll need for this row, so the cut end will be against the wall. Avoid using a piece that is less than 1 foot at the end of a row. You can save the piece you don't need from this row to be the first piece in your next row if it's longer than 12 inches. The last few rows of hardwood are often the toughest to install because of the tight space up to the wall. Since the flooring nailer won't fit, use a nail gun or drill pellet holes and use a hammer to nail the last few pieces of hardwood in place. Use a nail punch to help set nails flush with the surface of the hardwood. Measure and cut the final row of hardwood, and remember to allow for the expansion gap. Slide the last row into place and use shims between the final row of hardwood and the wall. Tighten the gap between the final 2 rows using a pry bar pressed against the shims to protect the walls. Again, pre-drill holes through the hardwood and floor, then nail the final strips into place. Remove the shims and reattach the baseboards to complete the job.